Okay, I've got my wing roughed out. I'm gonna work on the claws now. Now the claws are the highest point um, besides the head. Well, the highest point in this area. This is pretty high over here. But the flag is going to be the lowest point. The shield will be one step above that. And then the claws, those are the highest. So I got to start on the claws, get them where I like them, and then lower this down to where there's enough room for the claws to look good. And then I will lower this below here. This is all flags here. The flag is draped over like this. This is all flag. Flag here goes like that. This is tail feathers. And the problem is they only have an inch worth of wood here. Like I said, sometimes I just screw it up and I end up having to glue some wood on for the claws. These will be high. It's going to bend and come from the bottom out. So these will fade away into the background. So let's get started with that. I'm going to be bringing out a lot of smaller tools to get working with this. And I'm going to start with one of my most used tools is the 15/6 V tool. Now you can use a mallet. It's actually, you're going to be a little bit more accurate with it. I like to use a V tool when I can, freehand. Some carvers like doing stop cuts and then carving from there. Trouble with that is there's always a possibility that you're going to break what you're working on. By relieving this, it gives room for when you're stop cutting below that to prevent this from breaking. And I ended up setting up a little table over here so I can do this sitting down and don't have to keep reaching across around the carving to get my tools. I will have to go get some more tools though. Alright, this is a small number 2. The number 2 gouges are some of my most used. I love them for smoothing things out. It's almost completely flat, but there's just enough bend in it to keep it from catching. And as you can see, this is some real short grain right here in the end of these things. It's very easy to break off a tip. So you got to be slow and careful and not slip. So this shield is going to be fairly flat. So to make that carve away my line, I will just make it so I don't need a line. If I had a little smaller tool, it would make it a little easier. And clean it up with some slice cuts. Alright, I'm gonna continue making this all level, bring these to the height I want, and then we'll come back and I'll start carving the claws. So I finished bringing down the wood around the claws. Again, this is just a rough guesstimate of where I got to be. I probably have to go a little bit deeper, but I'm going to wait till I get everything roughed out here. This area is lower than this area. This is actually going to become much lower than this area. It's going to sweep down. But I want to wait till I get the claws done so I can lower the flags. I have to still do the tail. Do a little bit at a time, but right now I'm going to work on this claw. This claw comes from behind the body, so I'm going to roll it under, and then I'll start defining the claws. Big number 2 35mm here. Alright, that's good enough. Then we'll switch to a smaller number 2. This is a 212, and I'm going to start rounding everything over. This line here has nothing, and this one has nothing to do with the claw. That's just where the shield would be underneath it. So these claws here, you can see how short the grain is. You can see the line here. These are incredibly easy to break. So you really got to take your time, use a smaller tool, and try not to slip. Usually when I break these, it's from cleaning up under here. I tend to use my big number 2. And in the years past, before I got pretty good with it, that was a frequent victim of my inexperience. Stick the gouge on there. So I'm switching to a 3 sweep. It's got a little bit more groove to it. It's a fishtail. It's also got a point there. It'll help me get in some of these other places as well. If you look at all the carved eagles that have been done for the past couple hundred years, seems like almost everyone's got a different take on the claws, even with the same carver. Like Bellamy here does several different styles. So even if it's not exactly like the pattern, the drawing, or the original, nobody's really going to notice unless you're doing a reproduction of something. Alright, I got a lot of cleaning up to do around there. I'll do that in a while. For now, I'm going to create a little shadow under here. And then see if it's deep enough. If not, I'll have to dig the shield down a little bit more. And this thing is perfect for these little undercuts here. So that's 16.3 again, just defining this a little more. And I'm going to round these over. Number 2, 5 millimeter. So I am going to clean this up and do this one, and I will come back, and then we will work on getting the flags down below the shield